Uh, Congressman Torres, thank you. Sammy, thank you for as well as what you do. Sammy is a hotelier in Mitzvah Ramon. You should know that Sammy is a Bedouin, and I say that because I want you all to know that this is about Israel. He is a great citizen of Israel, and Sammy is truly just one of those great people. I want to kind of go through, first off, so you should know what today is. On 1917, on this day, the Balfour Declaration was signed by Lord Rothschild, who at that point in 1917 gave the opportunity for the Jewish nation to be established in Palestine. And so today, as we're here talking about the war, you got to know parts of history and parts of our own only 4,000 years of being part of that land. I want to also start by saying thank you to Saul Lieberman. Every day he's been on these calls as our president. We, as you can imagine, it's all live, things are happening, and we're constantly trying to make sure that we're informing you of everything that's going on, what we're doing in our center in Israel, Tali Sur, who you've heard from, and how we are every single day dealing with the issues, but dealing with them because you are making the donations to make things happen. And you should know that those donations have added up to already $27.5 million, $27.5 million. But as important is 21,293 donations. 15,000 people brand new to our campaign. So our campaign is of the major donors, but it is also of the people, and we're spreading the word, but that is up to you to also spread. And I will tell you that we have members of our Gaza Envelope Task Force, our Israel Envelope Task Force, now we call it, led by Betsy Fisher. There's Chuck and there's Ariel. There's a whole group of them. Bring them to your community. Have them come to your home for 5 people, 10 people. Have them Zoom in. They know the story. And let's utilize them to be able to tell our story and what we are doing. This past week, we talked about our work with our volunteers, and you've heard, saw that we're going to have volunteers coming internationally, but we're working with HaShomer, and every crop in Israel that is in the prime time of being planted or being cultivated is being done because HaShomer, one of our great affiliates, are working with all of the volunteers that are coming from throughout Israel. And you should know from the Haredi community that had a large group of volunteers coming and working in the farms. So it's everybody in Israel coming together. You will see a release coming out on lone soldiers. There's over 10,000 lone soldiers that are in Israel. Family members that want to come to Israel, obviously when they're hurt, want to give them a hug in their time off. And we're providing through Nefesh B'Nefesh the availability through a $2 million grant that will be available so that these families can come and give hugs to their family members. We have to remember the 18 people, 18. Last one was a friend of Sharon Joy's, who was killed from the army in this time. And we have to remember individuals and people and know what's happening. We have to know the JNF future through the boxes that Michal Shaloch talked about that is on our shops. And we've already had over 200 plus boxes just ordered in the past week that are going to families and the soldiers. Utilize the opportunity, go onto our store and support our campaign through every effort you can. Send out the pieces from this Zoom call that is every single day and tell people, and if you missed it, you're going to see a YouTube link. It's on our YouTube page and thousands of people are viewing it. Make sure people are viewing and hearing the story every day, the real story of Israel and what is happening. We are making a difference with 7,000 people with disabilities through our LOTEM and our affiliates of Special in Uniform and Grow Feet. In Ade Negev, there's groups there, they can't leave. 164 residents that can't go anywhere. Their voices has to be heard, and they're heard from you. And we're providing the opportunity for people to be able to work there, to bring their families there, to open up kindergartens. But that's because you are making the gifts and making it happen. And you have to know that we are also going and working on the day after. And the day after is a plan called Livnot Biachad that we're working on now with the government of Israel, with the Keren Kayemet Israel, with about 25 different organizations that is going to deal with the issues of tomorrow. But tomorrow will be the issues today as well. You have people in Eilat and in the Dead Sea at hotels or at Sammy's. They can't stay there for 2 months and 3 months, and they cannot go back home yet. And so we're working with the people in Ramat HaNegev and Yoracham and Arad and finding out places that have infrastructure and looking at bringing manufactured homes or other kinds of opportunity so that they have a place to stay in between going back to their own homes. But our plan of Linot Biachad will also be to rebuild together the entire area of the Israel envelope. The area from bringing it to that reveal moment when they could come and yes, still have the pain of what they're going to face, but they're going to at least have a community that they know that we were standing with them yesterday, today, and forever. And you got to be part of that. And it's going to be a multi-million-dollar campaign. But I have to tell you that we've already got our first $5 million gift towards that campaign. So you have to keep participating and keep asking and being part of what we're doing. You should know that starting tomorrow, a new $1 million match has been available to us from an estate, Mildred Popkin. Mildred was a great donor of ours, a multi-million-dollar donor, and her lawyer of her estate, when heard about this campaign, immediately made $1 million available to us for a matching gift because he said that's what Mildred would have wanted. And when I heard there's no other organization she would have wanted to participate more in, and made it available to us. And that starts today and it'll go through next Friday, another $1 million match. So there's so much going on and there's so much work happening and there's a lot of stress on our professionals from Israel all the way through the United States. And we're going to come together at our conference. And at our conference, we're already seeing people signing up. So please send out information, get people to come to our conference. We have invited every national organization to come to our conference, for the exec and the presidents of those organizations to come as our guests, to be able to stand on our stage with us on Sunday as a sign of unity. We've invited them to come and put their information in our expo. So whatever the organization is, share it, because we want to show the unity of the Jewish people, that it's not them or us, it's all of us together. So we have made that available and we're waiting to hear back from them. You should also know that with all of our events throughout the United States, the day before this happened and with the noise that is happening out in the world today, we take security very seriously. You should know that cyber attacks are against us every day. Our website was hit 3 times in the past 2 weeks. But we have full security that we took care of the day before, and we're constantly upgrading to make sure that everything is protected. And when we have our events yesterday and today and tomorrow, security is something that we have dealt with on an international level, national consultants, local people, and through the infrastructure of security that we work within the Jewish community. We take those precautions seriously. We take our issues seriously, but we have done it before. And sadly, we're pretty good at it because we've had a lot of practice. And at our national conference, we'll have the same kinds of security. So we're going to make sure that you're going to have all the things that you have to do about wearing your name badges, and you won't be allowed in without them. And there's going to be all those protocols that we're going to have, and you're going to be a little bit inconvenienced. So I apologize in advance, but it's because we take all of this very, very serious. So I'll close with this It was just sent to me, and I was listening to a speech by Yair Lapid that he made in Hungary about the Holocaust. And in that, he asked the question is, what would you have done in 1933 when Hitler came to power? Would you have thought that it would have just passed and just forget about it and not acted? That the first pictures came of trainloads of people that Americans saw. And a trainload had about 1,250 people on a trainload. 1,250 people on a trainload. And what did we do? We weren't organized. We weren't strong enough. We weren't unified. We didn't have the strong Jewish National Fund USA that we have today, that we're out there talking to people and getting them to join our ranks and being part of our conversation. So that is not 1933 or 1939 or 1941. This is 2023. And the question that we never have to ask is, what would we have done? It is what we are doing. So thank you all very much. Saul.